that's where you're meant to be.
Under the moon where the palm trees sway, hear the whispers of the ocean play. Life and love in the air tonight. Fee's got the wisdom to set it right.
Welcome to another Night with Phee right here on the Phee Smee Network. I certainly appreciate you guys tuning in on this Monday. Topics include tonight hugs, and more hugs. Things to not let your children ever do. Fasting, praying, and how do Daniel's 4 beasts become one in Revelations? Right here, right now, on Night with Phee. But first, we'll do a little riddles of theology. Hit that follow button for us. Share this with us. Help us. Love us. Do whatever you can to help us. Riddles of theology. What do the letter T and an island have in common? What do the letter T and an island have in common? Both are in the middle of water. W-A-T in the middle, E-R, and an island in the middle of water. Second riddle of theology. I sometimes run, but I cannot walk. What am I? I sometimes run, but I cannot walk. What am I? I do appreciate the opportunity for you guys to do business with Phee right here on the Phee Smee Network as you're trying to fiddle out the riddle of theology. I sometimes run, but I cannot walk. What am I? Your nose. That would be the correct. And last riddle of theology tonight. It has keys but no locks. It has space but no room. You can enter, but you can't go inside. What is it? It has keys but no locks. It has space but no room. You can enter, but you can't go inside. What is it? It has keys but no locks. It has space but no room. You can enter but can't go inside. What is it? That's correct, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You got it right. It is a keyboard. It has keys but no locks. It has space but no room. It can enter but you can't go inside. It is a keyboard. Boy, I tell you what, I do appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. We're going to talk about some different setting the bar and having a standard. And if you've ever run track or played sports, you'll know that for different types of sports, you'll need different skill sets. You'll need different equipment, different tools. If you're a high jumper and you set the bar at 6 foot, then you need to go and jump over that bar, which would be, pretty average as a 6 foot high jump. Now, what if you set that bar at 18 feet? No matter how good the high jumper is, even if he's an Olympic gold, he's not jumping 18 feet without the proper equipment. So if that's the gold, if that's the standard, if that's where the bar is set, he'd need to have some additional equipment or a tool. And that would be going from a high jump to a pole vault. So he would grab him a pole. Now, as I was in school, I could do about anything in track. I was fast and I could jump. If I couldn't, I wouldn't have been able to play because I was a foot shorter than all those 6'8" boys, and if I couldn't run, it'd be dangerous. So I'm thankful. My Lord didn't give me a lot of height, but He did give me a lot of athleticism and speed and the ability to jump. So I'm thankful for that. But if you're looking at uh, if you're looking at a high jump or transitioning to a pole vault, you're going to have that piece of equipment. And I can remember my father saying, you can do anything out there on the track field, but you cannot do the pole vault. So when my coach at one time, he said, you want to try the pole vault? And I just said, no, sir, my father won't let me do that. And it's baseball season, and he said, okay, no problem. But some coaches, they would say, no, you're going to be on this team, you're not, you're going to do the pole vault. I had a good coach at that point. And I didn't like to run track because it was during baseball season. And if you practiced track, and track meets are just so long anyway. So very boring until it gets to your event. But anyway, it takes the right equipment based on what event you're doing. The difference in a high jump and a pole vault. The difference in where the bar is set. So if you'll go to Matthew, you'll see that my Lord's message is to go out and preach the gospel of Jesus Christ, casting out demons and healing the sick. So we're going to talk about fasting, and we're going to talk about praying, and we're going to talk about casting out demons today. So if you'll go and look at Matthew 6:16 through 18, it says, moreover, when ye fast, be not as the hypocrites of a sad countenance, for they disfigure their faces, that they may appear unto men to fast. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. But thou, when thou fastest, anoint thine head, and wash thy face, that thou appear not unto men to fast, but unto thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly. See, fasting is about denying self, denying flesh. We tend to do what our flesh wants us to do. We've got to control our flesh. We live in a sinful world. If we want to eat, we go get something to eat. If we want some new clothes, we go get some new clothes. If we want to watch this movie, we watch this movie. If we want to do this activity, we do this activity. That is all in the world. It is all about flesh. And if you serve a risen Savior, a master, then you have to put Him first and do what He wants you to do. Well, it's just very difficult for Phee. Most of his life, I lived in the flesh. I always loved my Lord. He was always my top 5. But if it came down to where I was going to watch a movie or pray for 2 hours, or I was going to watch a football game or pray for 2 hours, which one do you think I chose? And what your priorities are and how you spend your time tells you a whole lot about where your loyalty is, your commitment. So he said, hey, if you fast, don't let people know you're fasting. Don't let people feel so sorry for, he's trying to be religious. He's fasting. That's not what it's about. It's about denying yourself. It's about denying yourself food. If you want to go on food and water, it's about denying yourself. I know some people that they do it corporately, it's like a church every month. They fast for the first 3 days of the month. Whatever they want to do is fine. I don't feel that's necessary. I feel like when you fast, you should do it you and your Lord. And it doesn't need to be a corporate thing. And it doesn't need to be something that is spoken of. Now, at the same time, you do realize that if you're married and you're wanting to do a 3-day fast and your husband or your wife keeps asking you if you want to eat something or you want to go out and eat, I think it would probably be better for you to say up front, I plan on praying and fasting for the next 3 days, so I'm not going to do anything to eat. Please let's not bring it up again. And that should be able to communicate. Again, most folks just can't do that. They just can't communicate. And then they get up mad because the spouse is asking, why aren't you eating? Are you sick? Is something wrong with you? It just that's not what it's for. It's not to cause discord. It's to cause you to realize that you're putting your body under subjection, that you're making your Lord number one, that you're denying your body the necessities that it needs, and you're praying and fasting to surrender all. You remember my Lord was in the desert for 40 days. What happened? The devil came to him. What did he do? He quoted scriptures. There's your sword. There's your offensive weapon. Do you know the playbook? Do you know what tools are in your tool bag? Fasting and praying, as we're fixing to find out, is a way to get strong and powerful in the Lord. That He can do all things through you if you'll just be under subjection to Him and not expect everything to happen like a genie in a bottle. You have to remain faithful and continue to believe. And that I tell you, He knows your heart. It's amazing that people, knowing that He knows your heart, still try to fool Him. Still try to fool Him. In Mark 9:17 through 23, 28, and 29, we're going to talk about a man that wanted to have his son healed, and his son was born with a dumb spirit, couldn't speak, and that he would take over violently, throw him in the fires, make him cut himself, do all kinds of things. And the man tried to get Jesus' disciples to cast a demon out and heal the boy, and they could not do so. So that's where you'll be picking up this story and see, because again, you got Jesus being just this sweet, kind, loving little lamb that just loves everybody. And every time almost you start reading what He says to these folks, He's just so matter of fact. He's just such a powerful leader. No emotions, just strong leadership, as you see. And one of the multitudes answered and said, Master, I have brought unto thee my son, which hath a dumb spirit, and wheresoever he taketh him, he teareth him, and he foameth and gnasheth with his teeth, and pineth away. And I spake to thy disciples that they should cast him out, and they could not. He answered him and saith, O faithless generation, how long shall I be with you? Now there's the man just told Jesus that his 12 disciples tried to cast this demon out, this spirit out, and could not do so. Will you please do so? And Jesus doesn't, I don't see a lot of compassion there. He's teaching, he's coaching during that time. Here's his first statement, O faithless generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him unto me. And they brought him unto him. And when he saw him, straightway the spirit tore him, and he fell on the ground and wallowed foaming. And he asked his father, How long is it ago since this came into him? And he said, Of a child, and oft times he hath cast him into the fire and into the waters to destroy him. But if thou canst do anything, have compassion on us and help us. Now watch what Jesus says. If you can help us, we'd appreciate it. What's Jesus say to him? Jesus said unto him, If thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. And when he has come into the house, his disciples asked him privately, Why could not we cast him out? And Jesus said unto them, This kind can come forth by nothing but by prayer and fasting. This kind can come forth by nothing but by prayer and fasting. That's the power that my Lord has in store for you, that all things are possible if you will spend the time, if you will deny yourself and pick up your cross, if you will put yourself under subjection and allow my Lord to do a work through you while you're thirsty and hungry and tired, broken. I suggest that if we have a faithful spirit, that we start making my Lord a priority during these times. Haven't you gone through enough years of your life doing it your way? Do you think my Lord's way is a better way? Because you're fixing to be engulfed in chaos with deception everywhere, and most of what you're being told is by design. They both got game plans. And before it's over with, in that last 3.5 years, you'll have one hemisphere of the United States and the other hemisphere of the world. Just down to the final two. Well, the Lord just gave me the ability to love sports and to coach. Here I am in a completely different arena, and it's just the same game. Same game. It's a spiritual warfare for the world championship. We win. And I like that. You know, things you should never, ever let your children do. Number one, you got to realize that you're living in a culture to where you get in trouble for disciplining your children. You wouldn't believe the way I was disciplined. And I would have to tell you that my brother would have been, he's 11 and a half years older than me. He would have caught my father on the front end. My father was born in 1929. He was raised a sharecropper son. He was beaten daily with chains, wood, stove wood. He starved to death. Had two of his brothers die from starvation. Lived in the worst conditions you could possibly live in. And somehow, some way, my Lord just put a teacher, a coach in his life. And my father could not even go to school until after he had picked cotton. So it would be right at Thanksgiving before he even entered the school. And he still won the valedictorian. And I think the man's name was Mr. Hinckley. But Mr. Hinckley was had my father was in agriculture, and he won a statewide agricultural speech that Mr. Hinckley took him to, and that gave him a scholarship. And then Mr. Hinckley set him up with a job. So he lived on a farm. He milked the cows. He got all the eggs, and then he went to school. And after 2 years, then he transferred to the University of Arkansas and was at school the same time as John Tyson. So my father, he loved, he could tell you every plant, every tree, every type of crop. He loved cattle, loved livestock, and that was him. But he was just beaten, so his discipline was a lot stronger and a lot rougher. And my kids know some of the things that happened when I was being disciplined, and they say, "Well, that's child abuse." But I believe my brother had it a lot worse than I did, and my father never hit me with a closed fist. I know a lot of fathers that have hit their kids, have hit them with wood and other things. So I got a belt, and I got thrown around a lot. You could pick you up and throw you from one end of the carport to the other, or against the wall. But he didn't never hit me with a closed fist, and and I was thankful for that. But today, you've got to discipline your children, and if they don't respect authority, especially disrespecting their parents, you don't have to whip them hard. If you'll start at 2 and 3 with just a little pop to let them know, by the time they're 5 and 6, it's just not going to be a problem. And then as they get into those 11 and 12s and get that smart mouth, all you got to do really is just wake them up a couple of times. Of course, I was so mischievous, such a problem, and always got away with it about everything I ever tried to do. That when I got in trouble, I went to the office. All the principals were either coaches or athletic directors, or so I just visited with them. And then, of course, they'd always say, "You want me to give you 3 licks, or you want me to call you daddy?" And of course, I always took the 3 licks because I knew that if they called it my daddy, it was going to be a whole lot worse. So I got lit up a whole lot at school, and I'd say once a month for 5 years. So I never had a problem. Didn't hurt that long, and I was having too much fun being crazy most of the time because I wasn't really worrying about school. Uh, but you can't let your kids. The Bible's clear about it. It's clear on guidance. It lets you know what you can do, how to protect your children, and how to discipline your children. Very important to my Lord, because the family structure, unlike the United Nations wants to end the family unit, my Lord wants to continue to have children. Now, my Lord doesn't have grandchildren. He just has children. So each generation has to make their own choice. So he's looking forward to children. And these United Nations folks are making it difficult, and these Bill Gates and these vaccinations and this DARPA and all these other folks out there making it difficult to do that. But disrespecting authority, especially parents, remember what Exodus 20:12 said, "Honor thy mother and father, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God hath given." Number 2, engaging with the occult. If you allow those type of video games, those Ouija boards, those tarot cards, Taurus cards, yeah, witchcraft, any movie, any game, any theme that you allow, magic. I loved magic growing up, and it's just what you're doing is you're just allowing that dimension, that portal, to be open, and you don't need that. So there ain't no sense going to getting your palm read or your horoscope read for the fun of it. And I've done the horoscope, just reading the paper many days. Look over Virgo, what today, and read it. So again, not preaching at you, trying to coach you, but I've never. If somebody had a Ouija board when I was in junior high, if they had a Ouija board in their house, I was gone. I didn't make a big deal about it. Hey, you want to play this? No, I got to go. You guys be good. And that was it. So I've never had the cards read, but I've certainly done the horoscope, and I've certainly enjoyed shoot for. I used to have a company Christmas party every year, and I'd hire a magician. Again, you look back and you see all the things that you did wrong, but I didn't. My Lord knows my heart. He didn't. I didn't think it was wrong then. So nothing to do with the occult. Respecting authority, especially your parents. You got to do those. You cannot let children get away from with that. You can never let them get away with it. It ruins them. So discipline them. Don't let them show disrespect for authority, especially you and your wife or your husband, whoever's paying attention. And 9 out of 10 of you are men. And don't let them play around with anything to do with the occult. And that means, not watching Harry Potter 6 or whatever it is. That was the big thing. But, lying, even the small lies without consequences, teaches deception, manipulation, and no respect for the truth. And that's correct. Remember, the father of all lies is Satan. We live in a deceitful, deceptive world. All around us, people are lying, and they continue to lie. And we've talked about the four kinds of lies: the ones you make up, the ones you tell the truth and add to, the ones you tell the truth and take from, or ones you tell the truth and add to and subtract from. And those are your types of lies. Well, if you even let him little lies, and that's why some people don't like Santa Claus, because sooner or later they think you lied to them. But again, I loved Santa Claus, and my kids. I think sometimes you just have to have some common sense. But again, my culture, people would say that I'm too tolerant of those type of things because of the way I was raised. But I like Christmas tree lights. I like decorations. I like Santa Claus. I like jingle bells. I mean, that's the world. I grew up in it and really loved it for a long time. Trying my best to at least not sound so strange, because some of this stuff, the closer you get to my Lord, the more you realize you got to go to get closer to him, because we're just so far away from him. We take a couple of steps closer to him and look up, and looks like he's further away, just because the more you learn, the more you know, the more you realize you ain't doing right. It's so much better just to be ignorant, going through life without having to worry about it until you're in the middle of it, and then it doesn't work out for you too well. But consuming content that normalizes sin, any movies, any entertainment, any information that will just normalize. They turn on the TV and there's a man and a man kissing. They turn on the TV and they're completely nude and they're in a sex scene. And if you continue to watch those shows, somebody takes the Lord's name in vain in a movie. You don't say anything. You just keep watching it. You're training your children to what you're watching. And of course, I was raised and born about the time of color television, and so when I was raised, people had their TV and they set up their furniture around that TV like an idol, and it was programming you. Your CBS programming, NBC programming wasn't anywhere near until about 9, when psychological assessments were coming out, and you could tell that they were shifting that culture, and I'm part of that culture. Entertainment and information. It helps so much. I remember people just dogging Jim Bakker and Tammy Faye Bakker. They're televangelist, 700 Club or something, and they were all just a bunch of criminals and all this stuff. I never paid much attention to it, but I did think to myself, well, even if they're the worst of the worst, I don't know anything about them and don't watch the show. But even if they're worst of the worst, if one person was saved from that ministry, I would think that would be beneficial to the kingdom of God. So I think my Lord uses a lot of people, good, bad, and the ugly, for his works. And he certainly doesn't choose all righteous folks, or he wouldn't have chosen me with a vision. So I think he chooses normal folks. I mean, you had Moses killed a man, which I still don't think that was justifiable to say it was murder, but obviously the depiction we get and reading it, that's what the assumption is anyway. Still don't think he had a bad character. But I mean, you look at all this Noah, he had his share of problems. And of course, several kings had their problems. And so, I mean, there's just not any perfect people except my Lord Jesus Christ on the earth. Prioritizing the world over God. You should never allow your children to do this, to prioritize the world over the Word. Uh, I'm guilty of this. Sports over church, travel league coaching, Sunday morning at 9 o'clock game. So, sports over church. That would be the wrong priority for the father to be teaching his children, which I did. Uh, Success over character. Have you made some money in your life and people and felt real good on the outside, but knew that you had done some things that you shouldn't have done character wise on the inside? Some people could answer that question yes. Some people would never do that, and a lot of people would lie to themselves and say they hadn't, but they have. Entertainment over worship. Again, we talk about that with information entertainment. How much time do we spend doing other things rather than making my Lord the top priority of our life? First of all, you got to know what the Word of God says, and then you've got to execute your faith. Most of us just know a very little about what other people have taught us, and we never execute our faith because we say, "Oh Lord, please help us. I believe in you," and then they go down to the pharmacy and get their medicine, and that's just it's human nature. You can be praying, and 5 minutes after you pray, or 5 seconds after you pray, something pop in your head, and you're like, "Why would that pop in my head?" You live in a sinful world. You're around sin all the time. But if you choose sports over church, and you choose success over character, if you choose entertainment over worship, you're prioritizing. That's your game film. That's your resume. That's what you're doing. Uh, that's the evidence. You are what you do. And so, bottom line is, don't teach your children to do that. And you got to have some priorities. That's the key. When it comes to hugs, and more hugs, men and women tend to hug different ways and for different reasons. And so I thought I would give you guys the difference in the contrast of women and men's hugs. Men hug to protect, women hug to connect emotionally. A tight hug from a man means attachment. A long hug from a woman means trust. You see the difference? You're going to start recognizing real quick that most of your feelings will go on the woman's side. So as a male, you need to know that, and you need to recognize that. A tight hug from a man means attachment. A long hug from a woman means trust. Men hug when words fail. Women hug when emotions overflow. Yeah. Have you ever cried because you're happy, and cried because you're sad, and cried because you're hurt, and cried because you're angry and mad? They all different cries, but the tears are still rolling out of your eyes. Emotions. Hand on the upper back shows care. Head on the chest shows surrender. I think that's why a lot of times women like to date older men, because when they hug them, they like to put their head right on their chest. And I don't think they want to be up there on the shoulders or above their head laying them like that. But I think I've got a lot of friends that are 6'4", 6'5", and almost all their wives are tall, big women. Not big as means a lot of meat on the bones, but I'm talking about they're 5'9", 5'10", 5'8", in that area. It was surprising to see Shaq. He's 7'1". He had a little 5'2" girlfriend or wife. I don't know who it was, but they was taking pictures together. But anyway, men feel safe when hugging. Women feel safe understood. Men feel safe when hugging. Women feel emotionally understood. So when you're hugging, you feel safe with a girl, and when she's hugging you, she's feeling emotionally understood. He understands me. I trust him. I surrender to him. You can tell the difference in a good hug and a hug that, how much longer do I have to pretend to hang on? I mean, that's you definitely can tell that difference if you're paying attention. A sudden hug from a man equals missing you deeply. A sudden hug from a woman equals needing closeness. And last but not least, men release stress through hugs. Women heal emotionally through hugs. So there's your hugs, hugs, and more hugs. I don't think we have enough hugs in the world. I think it would be much better for us if we spent time hugging one another and breathing with each other. It would be fantastic. So I can just tell you right now that if you'll go to Daniel 7, you'll see there's not a whole lot of beasts doing a whole lot of hugging. But how are we going to turn Daniel's 4 beasts into Revelation's 1 beast? It's important that you guys realize a couple of things in Daniel 7. Number 1, the eagle's wings are plucked from the lion. That's on Daniel 7:4. That's July the 4th, 1776, where the United States separated from Great Britain. Great Britain is the lion. Okay, the leopard is Germany. The bear is Russia. Okay, your 10-horned beast is going to be your European Union, which is your Holy Roman Empire. So let's go through Daniel 7 and hear these beasts. And by the way, I read one whole chapter the other night and was saying Nebuchadnezzar every time, and it was Belshazzar. And after I think I was like 4 hours later, I thought, did I say Nebuchadnezzar all the time? And I did. It's Belshazzar. So again, they're going to have a great time with that. All right, Daniel 7, verse 1. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions upon his head in his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the 4 winds of the heavens strove upon the great sea. And 4 beasts came up from the sea, diverse from one another. The first was like a lion, Great Britain, and had eagle's wings, the United States. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made stand upon the feet as a man. That's Uncle Sam wants you. And the man's heart was given to it. And behold, another beast, a second like a bear. That's Russia. And it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in its mouth of it between the teeth of it, and then said thus unto it, Arise, devour much flesh. After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon its back of it 4 wings of a fowl. Leopard is Germany, the fowl is France. The beast had also 4 heads. That's the 4 Reichs of Germany. The first Reich, the second Reich, the third Reich, which was Hitler, and then the 4th Reich, which is now, which happened after Gorbachev told to tear down that Berlin Wall, making Eastern Europe, Eastern Germany, and Western Germany back to Germany again. And Ronald Reagan's, I guess, his greatest accomplishment was taking down that Berlin Wall. Well, that is the fatal wound that eliminated Germany, that when that wall was taken back down, it was healed. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake into pieces, and stamped the residue of the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn. Now there is your European Union, your Holy Roman Empire. And then you see this horn, and another little horn comes up. And the first horn plucks 3 of them up by the roots. Well, that's why it's 10 horns and 10 crowns. And all of a sudden it's 7 and 10. That's because the Antichrist, he plucked up 3 of them. So I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them a little horn. Now, the little horn, people keep saying, where's the Antichrist? The Antichrist comes out of that beast, the little horn. And there were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. That is the Antichrist. The Antichrist comes out of that fourth beast, which is the European Union. So quit telling people that Donald Trump is the Antichrist, because he's not coming out of the European Union. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancients of Days did sit. That's Jesus. Okay, now he's just won at the Battle of Armageddon, and now he's sitting, whose garments was white as snow, and the head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. A fiery steam issued and came forth before him. Thousands and thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were opened. I beheld then became the voice of the great words which the horn spake. I beheld even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed, and given to a burning flame. As concerning the rest of the beast, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and a time. Now, I can keep reading there all I want, but because it's a long chapter. But I can tell you now, what you found there is 4 beasts. Great Britain, Russia, Germany. Germany has the 4 heads. And another beast that had 10, the European Union, and the Antichrist comes out of it. So you got France there with the fowls of the wing too. All of Europe is basically what you're looking at. Now let's go to Revelations, and you'll find the same thing in the New Testament in Revelations. That's why I love Daniel, because my Lord speaks of Daniel in Matthew 24. You know, if you're still want to know when you're going to be raptured out of here, it's immediately after the tribulation. Revelations 13, war in the sea and on the land. Now, here's 4 beasts becoming one beast. That's your one world government, the United Nations. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, and his seat, and his authority. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. And they worshipped the dragon which gave power unto the beast, and they worshipped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. There's your same 3.5 years. 1,260 days, 42 months, 3.5 years, times, and half of times. So all the wrath of Satan is 3.5 years. And it was given to him to make war with the saints. That makes sure that you guys know there's no difference in a saint and a tribulation saint like you've been taught. Find me one verse in the whole Word of God that distinguishes between a saint and a tribulation saint, and I will love to visit with you and debate you about that, because I believed that for so long, 58 years. 58 years. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. And you see what this one world government's going to do? All about control. You're not going to be able to do anything without compliance, obedience. That's where we're going. So can we pay attention and prepare to where this won't affect the children of the light, the children of God? Or do we want to continue to prioritize the world over the Word? I've seen it. It's going to happen. This is not playtime. This is the Word of God. And it's getting down to the last period. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of the life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. If any man has an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. Here are the patience and the faith of the saints. You think he cares if you want a fire insurance policy? He knows your heart. He knows whether or not he's your Lord and Master. You're going to be here to the end. As my Lord in Matthew 24 says, you're going to endure to the end, and immediately after the tribulation. I have seen World War III, which is the sixth trumpet war, Revelations 9:13, that kills a third of mankind. I have seen the last 3.5 years of the wrath of Satan, just like Daniel, and just like my Lord gave John through a vision in Revelations. I've seen the second coming of my Lord. And then, what a great day. What a great time of setting up a kingdom and having authority, a position in my Lord's kingdom, and living forever in a glorified body. Folks, it doesn't get better than that. Only one generation in the world ever gets to see my Lord come back. You were chosen for this time. One of the most craziest, chaotic, science fiction, just unbelievable, mad scientists trying to take over the world and control the human mind. Go to Mars. Can you just not see how everything is just coming to a head? And no, it's not going to happen anytime soon. You just turn on the news and see it. They just keep going and keep going and keep going. 7 years of counting, folks. My Lord's not coming back until every single one of these prophecies are fulfilled. And 30% of that of my Lord's basic instructions before leaving earth is about prophecy. 1 out of 6 verses in the whole New Testament. 1 out of 6, 18.3% is about money for this exact time. Are you going to choose money? Are you going to choose debt? Are you going to choose the world and new cars and new houses and everything you want and just put it on your credit card? Because what you're going to find is you don't own anything. And they're going to want to take it all. I would pay attention to the Phee Smee network, and I would stay ahead of the curve. Because we got a world war to go through, and we got the wrath of Satan to go through. And before it's over, 2/3 of this world will be gone, and my Lord will be back. You can count on it. I do appreciate you guys tuning in to Phee Smee's network tonight's Night with Phee. Hit that share button, like us, love us, follow us, do whatever you can to help us. And remember, no matter what you're doing, you're missing something. So let's make what we're doing worth what we're missing. And night night, said the cricket. Night night, said the whale. Night night, crazy boy. Night night, crazy girl. Only time will tell. Only time will tell, guys. God bless you. Night night.